something interesting, something positive.
Something Special, sponsored by LaFontaine Ford Grand Rapids.
What are the odds that a fourth grader would know exactly what to do in a life or death moment? In today's Something Special, 13 on your side's Riley Mack talked to a boy in Martin with a remarkable answer to that question.
If life were a movie and things were scripted, then Logan Vangemer
It's a cake.
would play the role of our unlikely hero.
I had to learn CPR to get it.
I was wondering what I was going to say to him.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm just going to say how I feel. And I said, there's my hero as he's walking through my room door.
Every hero has their origin story.
We were doing worship.
Logan's starts at church youth group.
Yeah.
Logan is one of our students that comes to the class.
Tom and Beth Adrians were filling in as leaders that week.
I literally saw him collapse on the floor.
I was worshiping, I had my hands up, and then I went down.
He hit a chair and he was bleeding.
There was blood dripping down from his forehead. And I said, can somebody help me roll him over? Logan was right there and he says, I can. He's little for his age. And so I thought, there's no way.
God gave me natural strength to roll Tom over.
He just grabbed him and we got him on his back.
That must have been really scary.
I was crying because of my worriness that he wasn't going to survive.
I did one compression. I mean, this is my husband of 45 years, right? I just threw my hands up in the air and I said, I can't do this. I'm going to be a widow. I am a widow now. And I'm going to have to learn how to rely on God myself without him.
Until,
And then what did you do?
like something out of a script,
I performed CPR on him.
everything lined up exactly when it was needed.
I had learned it just the day before.
He says, I can, Miss Beth. I know CPR. Logan literally learned CPR the day before.
The youngest the American Heart Association says a person can typically give successful CPR is 9 years old. Now take a guess how old Logan is.
I'm 9 years old.
There's too many variables for it to be a coincidence.
Call it coincidence.
The fact that he had continuous CPR, 6 minutes, made him so that he does not have any brain damage.
Call it fate.
Definitely a miracle story from
Logan
start to finish.
Definitely.
has already made up his mind.
What made you decide to act that day?
The Holy Spirit.
They come visit me in the hospital. I said, you're my hero.
A hero to Beth and Tom,
We're talking about perseverance. Raise your hand if you know what perseverance is.
and a hero
Okay?
to them.
But your school had somebody actually have to use CPR and save somebody's life. I want to bring up our friend Logan Vangemer. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
How does that feel?
It's very, very special.
If life were a movie,
I am really, really
the author of this script
honored.
chose the right hero.
I wouldn't take all the credit for myself. I would give most of it to God.
That's what we're talking about. Here comes
Now, Riley, were there any warning signs leading up to Tom's cardiac events?
Julia, Tom says he was asymptomatic leading up to that cardiac event, so they had no idea what was coming. He says he may not be here today had he not been filling in at church where there was an AED readily available. As for Logan's future, he's got his sights set on being a firefighter so he can keep helping people. If you want to learn how to save a life with CPR, we've got a link to do that in this story on our website. With your Something Special, I'm Riley Mack.